This week's Parsha is Parshat Bo, and as I try to do every week, there is a connection between the location and the Parsha. This week I'm standing outside our local pet shop, Zua Aretz, and I'm reminded of the times when I was a little boy and was taken up to Whitestone Pond to have a ride on the donkeys. And tucked away at the end of this week's Parsha, after the dramatic scenes of the last of the plagues and the exodus from Egypt of the children of Israel, tucked away is one of the more obscure mitzvot in the Jewish religion, V'kol petach hamor tifteh, and every firstborn donkey you must redeem. Pidyon achamor. Many of us are aware, of course, of the mitzvah of Pidyon haben, the redemption of the firstborn son, but there is indeed one of the 613 commandments, redeeming the firstborn donkey. Why? Because we are told that the donkey is to be commended, because when the children of Israel left Egypt, they didn't have time to organize wagons and all the rest of it. They schlepped most of the stuff by hand and loaded very heavy loads on the donkeys, and the donkeys valiantly carried abnormally heavy loads. It was a miracle, of course, and as a consequence, the donkey is the only non-kosher animal that has the kavod, has the honor of being redeemed. Now, it's not a mitzvah that one can do every day, and it's certainly not something that I've ever done. And I'm reminded of the famous story told by Harav Ben Sion Mutzafi that I heard several years ago when he came to speak in a local shul. And his father was a very famous rabbi in Baghdad, the old country. And he used to sit and study Torah hours and hours on end. And once upon a time, Rabbi Mutzafi said, they came to his father and said, Rabbi Mutzafi, there's a tremendous opportunity now to come and do a mitzvah, Pidyon achamor. We found a firstborn donkey, not a mitzvah you do every day, let's do it. And Rabbi Mutzafi's father at the time said, I can't, I'd have to schlep out of Baghdad, at least 2 days travel to go and do this mitzvah. It'll be a tremendous loss of Torah study. I'd better sit and learn Torah. It's better than schlepping out to do Pidyon achamor. Many years later, Rabbi Mutzafi said his family made aliyah, and they went through a very, very difficult time, all sorts of shortages, etc., etc. And at some stage, someone came to his father and said, life is really very tough for you. You've had a lot of sad things happen. He said, was there ever an opportunity or ever a time when someone offered you a mitzvah and you passed it up? The rabbi thought and thought, and he said, you know what? There was that one time, many, many years ago in Baghdad, and I passed up the opportunity to do Pidyon achamor. So they said to him, if you do this mitzvah now, I'm sure things will turn out for the good and turn out better. And Rabbi Mutzafi said his father spent a long time looking to find a donkey he could buy. And the first donkey that he bought died. And he went to buy another donkey. And the second donkey that he bought was stolen. Eventually, on the third or fourth time, when the donkey had its firstborn, finally, Rabbi Mutzafi was able to perform the mitzvah of Pidyon achamor. The message is simple. When someone offers you the opportunity to do a mitzvah, do it. Shabbat shalom.